Welcome, everyone. First up this afternoon is Jeff Williams of McPherson's Resources. Jeff's recently been appointed Managing Director, is serving as non-executive director for the past 6 years. Prior to this, he spent 14 years as Managing Director of Mineral Deposits and developed the Sabodala gold mine in Senegal. His experience includes many years as a professional mining engineer as well as in the banking industry. He is also Executive Director for World Titanium Resources and Non-Executive Director for Alice Clean Holdings. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, organisers, ladies and gentlemen. McPherson's. So you know, I got a call on Friday. I had a fair bit of success at MDL. Went from 10 million to over $1 billion. It was a good performance, but I did it in West Africa, and the investor who's made a lot of money out of this said, "Why McPherson's?" And I made the comment. I said, "West Africa, 700 kilometres from the coast, no water, no power, no roads, no equipment, no skills, malaria." No communication, pretty tough, but anyway, I had a bit of luck, and 18 months later I had 3.5 to 4 million ounces, so it was pretty good run. And then I said, now we go across to Kalgoorlie, and they've got everything that wasn't there. They've got everything that's going for it, and on top of that, this is the premier mining district in Australia, and there's no doubt, and they've got all the skills outside in terms of contractors, and they've got hungry mills in the area. And I said, this is where we are. And I said, and our assets are 10 kilometres from this place called Kalgoorlie. And in the background he said, I know where I'd invest too. So that was a nice comment, and I think people take Kalgoorlie for granted, really do. And mediocre assets are becoming really good assets here, whereas out there they got to be bonanza assets to even get going. So that's where we start from, Kalgoorlie. You need that. Becoming a gold producer is really important. If you walk out today and you remember anything, that's what we are. We're becoming a producer. And I think up there, I was nearly going to put up there about time, because our poor shareholders have been waiting for this. It's about time we thought about going into production, and this is something novel. Making money, that's really good. So that's what we're going to try and do from this point on. There's 2 points to this presentation. We've got 2 assets, the Barara Gold and the Nimbus Silver, and they're within 1 kilometre of each other. So very close to town, very good. The big thing about Barara, we're going to do a trial mine. I'm a mining engineer, I like digging holes, I'll tell you. And we're going to go into a trial area where we take out about 1,000 ounces of gold and we test it out. We make sure it's right. And there's a rational reason behind this. Because I always find, and I was a bit like this before, we used to blame the mills for for bringing up with the bad recoveries. It's nothing to do with the mill, it's all in the pit. And you've got to get that pit right. And I've done it at Sabodala. We've just built a big mine in Senegal for about 700 million. It's a big mineral sands project. I did the same there. I was up at Hawk's Nest. We had a mine there. I did it there. It just works. You just find out where you are. That's the first. Nimbus Silver, averaging 25 ounces per tonne of silver. And so that's about 12 grams per tonne gold. And we've got 255,000 tonnes of it so far in the underground category. And we're doing a lot of testing. So, and outside those 2, I'll show you there's upside. What you take from this is the fact that we're worth 35 million, and I'll leave it up to you, but I'm telling you, we're worth a lot more than 35 million. It's a good start, and we're going to, as soon as we get into production, prove everything, we'll go from strength to strength from this point. We're ably supported by some good management direction. We've got skin in the game. It's so important. You look at 15%, and Peter Rosenar from Mine Finance has really supported this cause. He's got 19.9. He's out of the Red Kite organisation in New York. So we've had a lot of support. We've had an ups and downs like everyone else, but we're now in the right frame. This is where we are, Kalgoorlie. To the right, when you look at that photo, is the Nimbus Barara field, and it's due east, 10 kilometres. So it's got everything. To the west, and of course near Coolgardie is where our name came from, the old Bill Powell open pit. Can I say at this point, we've gone into a trading halt, and those assets at McPherson's and Tyco have been sold off to a company called Primary Gold. And look, we've only just done it in the last hour, so it's taken a bit of time. But basically what it is, it's a $10 million deal, 5 million cash, 5 million in shares. We've obviously got to pass a lot of approvals with ASX and government transfers, but we feel it's a good deal for them and it's a good deal for us. And it makes us focus to the right-hand side. And you look at that track of ground, 25 kilometres, right near the super pit, 10 kilometres wide. We really need to do that justice. And so far we haven't. So this is time for us to sort of step up a bit as a management team, get focused, get the blinkers on, and let's start going forward to get into production in both those operations and get some exploration going, because we've only got the skills to do one big area like that. That's where it is, just out of Kalgoorlie. It's pretty simple. This is where we are now. This is the trial pit. And we've gone in, and this is the 20,000 tonnes in that small little pit to about 15 metres deep, about 100 metres long, 100 metres long, 8 metres wide. And we're actually just about ready to go, and we're waiting for the project management plan to be exercised and approved by the Mines Department. We put it on the 8th of July. We're hopeful we'll get it by the end of August. And we'll start immediately taking that trial pit. We've done a deal with FMR in Greenfields, in Coolgardie. We like what they did. We like Patrick Keogh. We like Chris Burns. They've done it. They just were good to deal with. And as I said, it's not in the mill. So, you know, everyone blames the mill. There's nothing to do with it. I've never found a mill go wrong. The second stage, which is probably stage one here, after we've done that, we really need to go in a phase to do a DFS, and we're going to get a couple of professionals to make sure we come up with something on that, because we've got two alternatives. Either we go CIL, which it leaches well, or we go heap leach. This is a gram dirt. And the third part, we're doing metallurgical test work at Nimbus, and I'll get to that. But there's the pit there, there's the trial design. On a 4 by 4 metre spacing, RC holes down to 20 metres. People may think that unusual, but to be frank, we found exactly what's in that ore body, and we've actually increased the grade of the ore body. So it's a big improvement. Here, there's a couple of hits along the pit. 16 metres at 2.7, so you can read them. 17 at 2, 20 at nearly 2. So you know the average grade of that whole area is 1 gram. So you can see there's been an upgrade by doing this trial pit design, this trial drilling, and we've benefited from it. There's a bit of drilling. There's that. We put so much work into that, and it's actually worked out well for us. And we understand the ore body better than most now. That's what you have to do. This is the second part. While we've done the trial pit, we're actually doing some heap leach modelling over in Tucson, Arizona. There's a group over there, that's all they do. The big players in the world do heap leach, like Escondida. Everyone who's involved down through the Chilean mines use this one bloke, and that's all he does. And we've sent our material to him, and can I say, if we can we're hoping to get between 85 and 70%. That's all oxide and transition in that pit. It's not big grades, but if you get that 78%, you can produce about 90,000 ounces heap leach. You do the numbers for yourself, that's higher than our market cap by a mile. This is the other bit of excitement at Barara, and Barara's been sitting there for probably 100 years and everyone's known about it. But there was a couple of holes we put at depth and we hit a metre at 100 grams, and so you know the old timers in the past did mine down there and took out 30,000 ounces in a small in a small sort of decline. Here's the high-grade silver. This is what it is. As soon as I arrived, I like to mine high-grade first and low-grade last. It's funny, but that's how it works. And we've put in these 10 loads that we know about, and there's the 255,000 tonnes at about 12 grams per tonne gold. Outside that, this is where the upside is, because there was going to be so much drilling, and we've put in about $30 million into this, so it's just consumed money. You can see some of the drill holes in, but have a look at some of those grades. You can see those orange bits are the grades outside, and they range between 40 and 5 grams per tonne of gold, and they're all silver grades there. There's just a list. Look, I took the top list, 3 metres at 30, and it just keeps going down. It's pretty impressive outside the loads. So our focus is to get into production and take this first bit, which is the 255,000, and go to the next stage, because when you're in there, you'll find more. There is no doubt. This is just a factor of drilling. We've drilled down to 265. It's much deeper. It's cut off there because we've just stopped drilling anymore, because there's no need to go any further. This is going to be, I believe, a very successful underground mine. So what we're doing now is, and just as another look at it, you'd have to give God 9 out of 10. He stood this up 90 degrees, and for a mining engineer, it's sort of a dream come true when they stand up like this. It's easy. It's 1 to 4 metres wide. It works when you get the technology, and you get the metallurgy right. Can I say we're doing the metallurgy now with a really gun team in Brisbane called Core Resources. Recommend anyone use, if you've got silver, lead, zinc, that's all you use. These guys are out of Mount Isa. They know their business. If we can get 70 to 80%, I don't require much, and only the silver, this again is higher than our market cap. There's a lot to be made in this at $27 for the silver price. So there's a lot of good things out. There's a shot of Ashok, who's the chairman. He's been a very good supporter. I'm sitting on the left there. And just to run over it, just watch as a new producer, just watch that we've got this very high-grade Nimbus there, and there's a lot of upside outside both those zones. We're pretty proud of what we've done. We've got a great team in Kalgoorlie with Andrew Pumphrey as the GM. And he's got a great team, a small team. We're working hard. We've got our blinkers on, and really speaking, we're looking to go into production real soon and push ahead into the new year. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Any questions from the audience? Very good. We'll move on.